obviously I've asked her and she does not. Do you have any scar or did you have any surgery previously or in your? Okay, so she doesn't have any scars or any injury or any skin lesions. And as you can see her chest, she does not have any shortness of breath. Her breathing is normal. There's no visual disformalities, which is not there. Her posture is straight, so there's no tripoding. Tripoding would be when a patient feels hard to breathe and they would bend over, which she's not, so she's intact and her chest seems nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and palpate her interior and exterior chest wall. Again, I'll be doing it with my hand and I'm gonna be using the palm of my hand for that. So I'm gonna be doing 4 parts on the front and I'm gonna be doing 6 at the back. I'm gonna start. And I'm gonna go clockwise as always. I'm gonna go to the back. And I'm doing the same at the back as well. I'm going clockwise and I will be palpating for 6 in 6 areas of her. So here what I'm doing is I'm listening if there's, I'm feeling if there's any abnormal vibrations or any abnormal breathing sounds, which there's definitely not. It seems to be intact and normal. Okay, after my palpation, I'm going to go ahead and auscultate her chest area, and I would be using 8 sections because I would be doing anterior, lateral, and anterior, lateral as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Normally, I would make her breathe heavy for me for all 8 of them, but I'm not going to be doing that since I don't want her to feel like she's going to be out of breath at the end of the video. So I'll just make her breathe deep breathing just for like 4 parts. I'm going to start. Give me a deep breath. Deep breath. Okay, and you can be normal, it's okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and auscultate in the back, which is the same as I did in the front. It'll be 8, and I'll be doing them clockwise. So her lung sounds are normal. There's no abnormality in her sound. There's no crackles or wheezes, or there's no heaving. So everything seems to be intact. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be palpating again her chest, but just the heart area. So which is going to be the 5 spots. I'm going to go ahead and start. This is my left. It's going to be here. 1, 2. 1 here, 1 in the PMI, and then 1 here. And in the same manner, I'm going to be listening to her heart sound. The previous one, which I did, was listening to the lung sounds, but now I will be focusing on her heart sounds. And I'm going to go through the same motion that I did when I was palpitating her heart. Okay, again, the heart sound is loved up. Loved up would mean that it's normal. So her heart sound is intact as well. So everything seems to be good so far. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be checking your capillary refill. So can you just give me your hands? That means that I would be pressing your hand to see how fast the blood flows back to your hands. And okay, if it's less than 2 or 3 seconds, then it's good. If it's more than that, then it's not. But you have your capillary refill less than 2 seconds, so you're all set. Everything seems to be nice. Okay, the next thing I'm going to be checking is for peripheral edema. So I'm just going to go ahead and put your arms here, and I'm just going to be from upper to lower arm. Just check if there's any tendon. There seems to be no tendon. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing in her legs, from upper to lower. And I'm checking on her feet and these area as well, because usually this is where the edema would be in a patient. But of course she doesn't have any edema or anything, so she seems to be good. Okay, now I will be palpating the rest of her pulse, the one that I can. So I already did the neck, so the next one I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do the biceps, and I will be doing them bilaterally. So that will be checking the bicep pulse. And I'm going to go ahead straight to radial. That would be here. I'm going to put my tip of my 2 fingers. And I will not be using my thumb, because if I use my thumb, then I will probably be able to feel my own heartbeat, and I do not want that. Now I'm going to go ahead, and there's pulse behind the knee. I'm going to go ahead and do that one. Seems nice. And I'm going to go ahead and do the pedal pulse as well. Again, behind the ankle as well. Okay, they all seem to be strong, normal, appropriate for her age, and appropriate for her health status. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is, even though I've already touched myself, I've already felt her skin and everything, I'm going to do it one more time. So right now what I'm going to be doing is checking the warmth of her skin. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the back of my hand and not my palms. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and check her legs as well. So her skin is warm, it's moist, it's smooth, it's intact, and there is no abnormalities that I see. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is checking your abdomen. So for this, if I was in an examination room, it would be easier for me to check for the abdomen, because I would be having her sleep. But since I will not be able to do that, I'm going to be checking her abdomen while she's sitting like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and absorb. So as you can see, the shape and contour of her abdomen is normal. There's no abnormalities, and it's rounded. Now I'm gonna go ahead and auscultate her bowel sounds, and I'll be doing them by 4 quadrants of her abdomen, and I'll be starting with her right lower, and I'll be moving clockwise. So usually for each quadrant, if it's in a hospital setting, I would be waiting for at least 3 minutes to acknowledge if it's a normal sound, or if it's hyperactive or active, or if there's any abnormalities. Okay, so her abdomen sound is active. It does in each quadrant. Every 10 seconds it does make a sound, so that is healthy. And I need to now go ahead and palpate. Could you go ahead and do that position again? So for the palpitation of her abdomen, I'm not going to be going deep. I'm not going to be doing it deeply, because then I'll not be able to know the tenderness of the abdomen. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my palm on her abdomen. I'm just going to go ahead and roll to all the 4 quadrants very softly. I'm going to start with left and then work my way clockwise. So this is usually to check if there is any fluid collection. So if there was, then it would be making a whooshy sound, which it's not, because she doesn't seem to have them. And the last thing I will be doing is percussion. So I'm going to go ahead and firmly do that all over her 4 quadrants as well. As she has clothes on, probably cannot be heard very loud, but it feels normal. There is no abnormalities at all, and everything seems to be very normal. So okay, this is the end of my video. I have checked everything from head to toe. She seems to be healthy. There's no abnormalities. There's nothing that we need to be scared of or we need to do anything about. So everything seems to be fine, and this is the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching.